Hello and welcome to a very impromptu reading vlog for Weekend at Timmy's. The first book that I will be reading for this is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, which is my double D or double double book title because it has two D's in the book title. I should probably tell you what Weekend at Timmy's is. In fact, I'm going to let past me tell you all about that because I made a TBR video for this weekend. Weekend at Timmy's is something started by Brittany Loves Reading. She's a fellow Canadian, she's in Nova Scotia, I used to live there a very long time ago. And the very first round of this is happening July 12th and 13th, so basically it's a weekend readathon. My understanding is the way she runs her TBR monthlies is she has her own kind of Monopoly-esque board, but it's based around Timmy's or Tim Hortons, which used to be a very beloved Canadian branded coffee shop here in Canada. However, ages ago, it was actually sold to a company in the States, so I think it also exists in the States now. And because this house has gone pretty hard on the not buying things from America because, you know, trade war, we won't be having any Tim Hortons anytime soon, but that doesn't mean I can't play this game. Basically, Brittany has decided that every 2 or 3 months she's going to roll a couple of the prompts, and that's going to be the prompts for a specific weekend, and the first weekend, as I think I already said, is July 12th and 13th. For this weekend, she rolled twice. She pulled 2 different cards. One of them is alliteration, so you're looking for a title with alliteration, and the second one is double double, which I feel is just so classic. It's such a Timmy's thing. So it's currently Saturday morning. I went out for a walk. I went to a local cafe, and I read the first couple of chapters of this, and I'm very much enjoying it. So far, it's about this girl that works at a camp that is supposed to be a recreation of a camp from an 80s film where, you know, there's a final girl situation because all the campers, one by one, disappear, and then finally there's a final girl situation, and she works as the final girl. However, it's only a few days until the end of the season, and some of her staffers have gone missing, and that's just really annoying because it's hard to do her job if they don't have enough people for it. And I have a feeling that those staffers have gone missing permanently, if you know what I mean. So I'm interested to keep going and find out what's going to happen. My plan is to try to finish this today, which I may or may not be able to do because I have social plans at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and it's probably about noon now if I had to guess. Let's check. Oh no, it's only 11, so that's even better. So I'm going to try to get that done, and then I have 4 other books on my list that I could choose from, but only I think 3 of them would actually fit for the other prompt, which is the alliteration prompt, so we'll see what I pick up for that. I'm about halfway through and the creepiness factor is high. They basically were told they have to cancel their last night of what they were supposed to be doing and clean up the camp and leave because somebody came and threatened them all with a shotgun, but the sheriff took her side and things. And they're coming to realize that this might have actually been a summer camp back in the day and something bad happened there, and it turns out one of their grandmothers was basically a camp counselor there and nobody knows about this, so that's just weird. And now there's definitely somebody creeping around doing things they shouldn't be doing, which is very creepy, especially when it's just a camp full of teenagers literally running things. Like I said, I'm about halfway through. I'm going to crawl into bed because I'm absolutely bone tired and see how much of this I can get through before my body is like, no, you're napping now. Hello, hopefully this clip isn't blurry like the last one because I'm not gonna get up. I am too tired for that. I tried to nap and it didn't really work, but I did finish the entire book. So there's that. It definitely had some twists that I didn't see coming. About the halfway point, you're like, what is going on, actually? Okay, then. And then, yeah, there's reveal after reveal after reveal after an epilogue that you don't want to miss. So, very much enjoyed that. And it's very much one of those books that I'm happy I did it all in one day. The next book, which I'm going to pick up for the alliteration prompt, is Wine Witch on Fire, but I'm not going to do it immediately, only because I want to watch my shows. I like watching my shows, so I'm gonna watch my shows, but I'm gonna start it tonight. Hello, it's Sunday, and as promised last night, I did start Wine Witch on Fire. This is about a woman who we meet at the very end of 2012, and it's been a hard year. She's really waiting for it to be over because she separated from her husband of 20 years who left her pretty immediately. She's bringing up her 14-year-old son. She's got this job where she works in the wine industry, so she sometimes drinks a little bit too much, but she justifies it because it's technically work. And she's really, really good at what she does. In fact, when she's just walking around in liquor stores and people are like, ooh, I wonder what I should get, she definitely feels like she needs to jump in and recommend different varietals based on what they say they're having the wine with. However, at the end of this wonderful day, she gets a Google alert saying that there is a new article about her, and it's all about this person positing that she has been plagiarizing, which when you make all your money through writing is not an accusation you want. So I haven't read much further than that. I'm basically a couple of chapters in, and I'm interested to see what else happens. Let's see if I can finish this today, because I need to edit my video for the week because I just filmed that. That's why you're still on a tripod right now. I just turned it off, turned it on type of thing. But if I don't finish it today, I will definitely finish it by tomorrow, I have to imagine. Hi, it's almost 5 o'clock and a perfect day to stay inside all day because it's hot out. I'm a little bit more than halfway through this and I'm really enjoying it. It's broken up into different seasons from 2012, and I think by the end we'll figure out what happened with the whole plagiarism thing, but we're kind of going through the seasons and seeing how her year went, which is actually pretty great. But because we're talking about wine so much, I poured myself a glass and I'm gonna go consume it in the bathtub with like some cool water because it is really hot out. Hi, I'm about 70 pages from the end and still in the bath, but I want to tell you that this book is remarkable because what she really went through is basically a giant internet witch hunt filled with misogyny and bullshit. To give you context, she had a site where she was posting her reviews of different wines, and if you wanted to be able to see the reviews in the last 30 days, you needed to be a subscriber, which was like $2 a month. Because, you know, that's how she makes her money, that and selling books. And in those reviews, a section of it way at the very, very bottom was other reviews, so very specifically from other people, and she was getting these from a wine liquor board that is based in Ontario, which she had seen other sites doing, and then she was linking to those contributors. Even though other sites were doing it, somebody figured that this woman's doing it, so, you know, that must be plagiarism, even though it says these are not my words. Basically, it's like other people's reviews. And this created a giant witch hunt hate campaign, and one of the things I really like about this book is she really takes that witch metaphor throughout the book, and a lot of the titles of the chapters have to do with witch things that you will know if you've read basically any witch stuff. For example, the title that I'm about to read is A Discovery of Bitches instead of A Discovery of Witches, but it started out with like toil and trouble, boil and bubble. Like, it has witch imagery all throughout, which I really enjoy. I'm going to continue reading and hopefully finish this tonight. It is 9:28 p.m. and I have finished Wine Witch on Fire, which means I finished both books in this weekend, which is a lot for me because I read slowly, so it's basically me just reading all day to get books done. I really enjoyed this memoir. It's definitely worth picking up, especially if you're into culinary type of memoirs. I'm going to wrap it up more thoroughly in the morning when I have more daylight. Hello, it's Monday morning, so as promised, let's wrap this up. On Saturday, I read You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, and on Sunday, I read Wine Witch on Fire, which is so good. Also, that just means that my eyeballs really hurt by the end of the day because, you know, reading so much. Also, I've probably addressed this before on my channel, but I am actually a really slow reader, so getting through an entire book in a day is quite a struggle for me unless I'm listening to it and I can like jack up the speed. So I'm low-key proud of myself. If you participated in Weekend at Timmy's, let me know what you read down below on the way down to the comments. If you make sure that you're subscribed, that would be very nice of you because sometimes YouTube likes to unsubscribe people just for funsies. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!